You don't have to. Where we're going to show you then is this entering transactions on page 89. And you've realized that everybody's going to be doing transaction set A. So ultimately, all of you are going to get the same answer. And it's just a matter of getting you examples here. So we're just going to go through the first 5 or so. So it's on page 100, or excuse me, 97. So page 97 of the book. We'll just do the first 5 today, so we're consistent with the other classes. Let me turn off the lights. So some of this we kind of showed you before, but now if you just want to be taking pictures of what you're going to be responsible for, understand how the author set up their explanation. This is written by a previous faculty. That's where we're using it. At the end of it, they always tell you what document to fill out. So they tell you a story, then they tell you what document. So what document they want you to fill out in A, or in the first one. Yeah, an invoice. So here's the skill to cut down your work. You just go tasks. Don't worry about doing a sales order. You're just going to find the name of what you want to do. So sales invoicing. And if you've set up all the master files, all you do is pull down. So it's California Premium Beverage. It will populate everything. And then it tells you here to go look at the page 101 for that specific invoice. So California Premium Beverage sent you this invoice, you populated it. This is what they want to buy from you. So they want to buy this stuff from you. And let me zoom in a little bit. And you're going to see how straightforward this is. If they want to buy this item, you're going to have it set up over here. So that particular item, 1215, is for Riesling. It's for wine. So I click on here and I pull down to 1215 for Riesling. It tells me the price, and then all you have to put in is the quantity that's sold. So it's much quicker than what you do in the manual project. You just put in the quantity, it extends it out, and you just do that for everything that's ordered, and you're going to get the check figure here. This is what the total would be then. So yours won't be paid in full yet. This is to tie it out to what you had on the invoice you got. So this is the only part you want to potentially take a picture of. So it's just the invoice for the sale to California Premium Beverage for $42,537. All you have to do is enter this, save it. All your accounting records are updated automatically. There's no posting. There's no other filing you have to do. Everything is taken care of for you. Okay, so it's the $42,537.60. If you don't have your camera or something, just understand in your book, if you just want to circle that, that's on page 101. That's what you should be getting. So $42,537.60 is what you should be getting. There's no errors, no mistakes in that. As far as the total. Everyone's okay? The second one is another one that's very straightforward, easy. They're just telling you that you want to order some raw materials. So it's like the stuff we did in chapter 13. One of the basic ingredients for wine, of course, is grapes. We want to order 29 tons of them from Mendocino. Always look at the last part. That's what they're going to tell you to fill out. So it says complete the purchase order. So you just go over here to tasks, and you just scan down there for something that says purchase order. And you click on it, a blank one comes up, and you're going to indicate I want to buy this stuff from Mendocino. Specifically, the item I want to buy is white grapes for 29 tons of them. And that's all you have to do. So here's your picture. So about 3 keystrokes with, or 4 with the purchase order number and the date. And you're fine. No surprises on that one. Again, the transactions take just a couple hours after you do about 20 hours of setup. So the setup is what's the pain. Setup is what takes the time. The transactions go really quick. Transactions go very quick. So that's all you have to do for that one. White grapes, 541, 29 tons. This one takes a little bit more analysis. I'm buying a truck. I don't have to pay full price. I'm going to pay $47.50 down, borrow $22,000 on a 3-year note at 6%, and then go to the end of it. What's the only document you have to actually fill out? Yeah, it just says prepare the check. So it's always going to be that last sentence. So look up on your list of tasks. What's your choice then? And you realize that you potentially say write checks, but you want to do payments. So don't do write checks, because then they're going to want you to print out a blank check, and you don't have any of those. So just do payments. What comes up looks like a check. You don't have Potter Valley set up as a vendor because, like your Chapter 13, I don't write out a lot of checks to them. I don't buy a truck every week, so I can just put in Potter Valley Ford here. And I'm going to pull down here for the account. So I'm buying a truck. It'll be for equipment. I'm going to buy it for the $26,750. And then I got to have, oh, that's wrong, $26,750. And then I'm going to put in for a note payable. I'm borrowing the rest of the money for $22,000. So I click on that, and then because it's a credit, I got to go ahead and put it in as negative. I put in the check number, date, the check nets out to the $47.50, and there it is. So Potter Valley Ford, I'm buying the truck. Don't worry about the description. Just make sure I have the pointer by. The only mistake that people make is to forget to put a negative number in front of it. So make sure you have a negative number. And then all your stuff's going to be dated 2016. So make sure everything you do is dated 2016, not 2012. Got the picture. Here, just a couple more for the board of directors. They declared a dividend, so they want to give a $50,000 dividend to their stockholders of record. And is there actually a document you have to fill out, does it seem like? And it doesn't read about any document, right? So what's the default if you have an event but you don't have any documents? Is I got to record it in my general ledger. Or my general journal, I should say. So I go here, tasks, and you go all the way down to general journal entry. So everybody picks up on its general journal entry. And what's going to come up looks like a trial balance sheet, a 4-column. So the general ledger account for a dividend, you just have to know it's a debit to dividends. Debit, it's a contra stockholders' equity for $50,000, and then it's not paid yet, so it's going to be dividends payable for $50,000. And the date, of course, would be December 16th or so. Let me just make sure. So December 16th. And then it's just a matter of, for the reference, you put in an account or a journal entry number. Most of the time, we're going to put in 12 for December. It's the first transaction. So here's your journal. So 50,000 for 1216 for those two accounts. So that's all you have to do for that one. And again, when you save it, it will automatically update all your accounting records. The last one here, I get a phone complaint. You gotta read this close. Seaside is one of my customers. They said a case of wine broke. So what does that mean? Am I gonna refund them the entire 20,000 bucks? No, all I'm gonna refund them for is the one case that broke. So how many bottles are there in a case? If you buy a case of wine, how many bottles? And hopefully realize there's 12 bottles of wine that were broke. And now I gotta look up what was the selling price of this special wine of Chenin Blanc. So somewhere it tells me there, of all the wine, the only one that broke was Chenin Blanc. So I go back into my transaction setup, and I remember that in inventory, I set up inventory, and that in transaction set A, inventory is this way. In transaction set A, the selling price of Chenin Blanc is $8.25 or so. Oh, I guess I went back far enough. Okay, so inventory transaction set A, if you find the price of Chenin Blanc, it should be $8.25. So it's transaction set A and $8.25. So 12 bottles times $8.25 per bottle. But then it doesn't tell you this in the information, but what else do you have to realize is applicable in this case? When I sold them this wine, it was dated November 5th. They paid for it on November 19th with a 3/15 net 30. So what does that mean? Did they pay the full price? No, they paid a discounted price. So I gotta multiply that by 97%. That's 100% selling price minus 3%. So they only paid 97%. So 12 bottles, go through the logic here. 12 bottles of wine times $8.25 per bottle times 97% means I got to write them out a check for a whopping $96.03. And they don't tell you anything other than that you're going to use this check, right? So write them out a check for check number 19286 to reimburse them. And the stuff was not returned to us because it's all just broken bottles. So I go task, I go payments, and here's the check to finish off here. So it's for one case of Chenin Blanc that was broken, $96.03. Make sure you pick up, it's here for sales allowances. 96.03. Okay, so that's the transactions we went through in the other class. We'll just keep it at the same pace as the morning class. So on Tuesday, we'll go